Using the probability rules. What is dependent and independent probability? Let's look over the basic rules of probability first. The probability of any event is a number between 0 and 1. All the possible outcomes together must have probabilities whose sum is 1. All outcomes in the sample space are equally likely, and 1 minus the probability that the event does not occur is the probability that it does occur. Now that we know the rules, let's look over some definitions, like mutually exclusive or disjoint events. It means the events have no outcomes in common. Let's take an example. I could choose to stay at home, go to the mall, or go to the park. If I stay at home, I won't go to the park or the mall, which means that the events can't happen together and are mutually exclusive. But what's the probability of me going to the mall or the park? 2/3, or 0.666. It means that the probability of A or B is the probability of A plus the probability of B. But what if they're not mutually exclusive? Well, let's take another example. The probability of a male or a female having pierced ears. There's two outcomes that can occur at the same time, being a male and having pierced ears. For this type of probability, you would use the equation P of A or B equals P of A plus P of B minus P of A and B. You subtract P of A and B to take away the double-counted outcomes. So, based on what we know now, we can assume that if P of A equals P of A plus P of B, the events are independent. This means that the probability of each event is completely separate and that P of A does not depend on P of B. On the other hand, if the events are not mutually exclusive, then P of A equals P of A plus P of B minus P of A and B, and then the events are dependent. This means that one result affects the other, and one result is dependent of the other. Let's combine these principles and see what we get. If P of A equals P of A given B, and P of B equals P of B given A, that means that these two probabilities are independent, meaning that the probability of one isn't dependent on that of the other.